Welcome to the Sound Creator Podcast, where I explore the fascinating world of sound design and sound effects. I'm your host, Cedric Black, and in each episode, I dive deep into the art of creating unique audio experiences. Join me as I share my personal journey in sound design, from crafting realistic sound effects to building captivating soundscapes. On this show, I will dive into this unique art of sound that brings movies, games, and media to life. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of the Sound Creator Podcast. I'm glad to be able to bring this episode because I wasn't sure if I would be able to this week. From the entire weekend has been such a fiasco because my internet is down at home. My wireless, not sure what happened. All of a sudden, it's just decided to stop working. And I never realized how much this world now has incorporated the importance of internet access. You take it for granted. I guess I have taken it for granted for so long because it's always been there. I've used it and I use it for everything. With my cell phone, with my smartphone, and my TV for streaming, and my work especially. It's so important, it's so critical because I live in a different state, and the work that I provide requires internet. It requires me to upload files and to upload music and everything. That's how I communicate. That's the primary link between me and clients, people that I work with, and everything that's musical or sound design or sound effects. I need the internet, and it's been down. It's only been down for 2 days, but in my world, 2 days feels like 2 months or 2 years easy because everything just comes to a halt. I can work, but I can only get so far because I need that internet. So I'm not sure where you live, those of you that are listening to this episode. I'm sure you all live in different states and you have different internet providers. But here where I live, it's sort of limited to who we can use. I won't name any names because I don't want to implicate any companies that are here, I don't want to do that. I appreciate it. I appreciate the companies that we do have, the options that we do have, even though they are limited. But what I don't like about limitations is that you're sometimes at the will of that provider. It means they can charge you what they want, and you have an option to pay for it or not, but that other option is usually to go without when your limitations are, I guess limitations and choices are so limited. So that's the downfall, but I'm confident that it's going to get back working so I can get back on schedule. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, if something is off, because you go so long day in and day out on the schedule and things just seem to flow, but as soon as there's one break in your day, it just throws everything off. At least it does for me. Everything is just totally thrown off. I can work, like I said, I can work, but I'm working around the situation because my workflow always involves using the internet access. And it's been a while since I talked about a gripe. I always have some complaint. If you listen to earlier episodes, there was always a complaint that I had about something. But this job doesn't come without its share of challenges, and this happens to be one of them. It's something that's when things happen that's beyond our control, like my internet going out. It was beyond my control. I had no prior warning that something was happening, it just stopped working. For me, when it stops, that's a problem. And so I'm complaining about it, but I have confidence that it will be working again. I have no doubt about it. It's just when it happens, I want it to work instantly, like we all do. We don't want to wait because it's always been there. But here we are. Here I am. It'll be okay. I just know that it'll be okay. But what I wanted to talk about, since I've already taken up a good portion of this episode with a complaint about my internet episode, what I wanted to talk about today is, I don't know if I'll call this a new season, but this is my 21st episode. So I've completed 20 episodes. I wasn't sure that I would be able to, or even if I wanted to, because you have those days where you're not sure if the episode was good, or if it's enough if I have enough material that I want to talk about to keep things rolling. I can talk a lot about sound design or creating music or anything in that realm, but I really have to think about how much of it because the podcast can't be hours and hours long, which I can talk about things for hours and hours long, but yeah, I'm not sure if anybody wants to listen to that. And I don't know if my voice will hold up that long because I'm naturally an introvert or a quiet person, so I don't really talk a lot. When I do talk a lot, my voice gets tired really easy. I'm proud that this episode 21 has come about. So this is like a new season. I don't know if I'll start naming my episodes now I wouldn't say a new season, but I'll probably from this point on add episode numbers to the episodes now. It feels like a fresh start for me. I have ideas of the direction that I want to take the podcast. My personality, if you know me, and if you don't, hopefully you formed some opinion from the previous episodes. I just tend to not make a plan. I like to allow things to flow as it was with earlier episodes when I was having those issues with the noise in the background noise. I did allow myself to experience that, to go through that journey of frustration of dealing with the sound issues, because I'm not in a professionally treated room or anything, so I already knew that starting this episode, starting the podcast itself, there would be some sound challenges, some acoustic challenges, and I'm okay with that because I think it was more important for me to provide content, share things that are part of my world, the way I do things, and that was more important to me than focusing on sounding good. I want everything to sound good. That's really important because I don't want anybody to click off or just move past this podcast show. I do want things to sound good, but I also wanted to make sure that I'm sharing things that I like and sharing things that I think that you guys would enjoy or be helpful to you in some way. And hopefully I've done that. And if not, hopefully I will in future episodes. I'm not bringing any sounds to this episode. There's no new sound. Well, I always have sounds. That's just everyday work. But I didn't bring any sounds to share to this episode because it feels more like just a new beginning. I'll call it a new beginning. I'm even recording this episode a day before I always schedule to record it, because Tuesdays are my weekly podcast days that I record the show. So I just felt like, and I had some time, because why do I have time? Because my internet is down and I'm waiting for the internet company to send a technician out to check things out. So I said, why not? I have something to say. Why not just go ahead and record an episode and have it ready so and I know, I'm not saying if, I'm saying when, I'm claiming that when the technician fixes my internet and I'm back online, I could upload the episode and be ahead of schedule. That's the switch. So maybe it was things were meant to happen that way. It was meant for my internet to go down and for me to look at things a little different way. So if you've been listening for the past 10, now it's 12 minutes, you may ask, what does any of this have to do with sound design or my world of sound design, the way things happen? This is one of the things that happens. When things happen unexpectedly, what do I do? How do I make the best of it? What can I do to look at things a different way and still apply it to what I do? So what I'm doing with this, what I decided to do is take this day, or take this small window of time before they show up. Take this time before they show up and get to work, and is to reevaluate maybe how I want to do the show, and how can I incorporate things like this to help someone, to be helpful, to provide helpful information, and also not get too far away from my world of sound design. So we'll see how this progresses, but I know that it's going to progress. So that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for showing up once again and for taking the time to listen to the Sound Creator Podcast. And we will see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. If you found value in what you've heard, I kindly ask you to spread the word about the Sound Creator Podcast. Share it with your friends, colleagues, and anyone who shares your fascination for the power of sound. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your preferred platform so you never miss an episode. You can also stay connected with me through my main website at cedricblack.com or at cedblack on Instagram. Thank you once again for being part of this incredible journey. I look forward to bringing you more captivating episodes in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and let the light be your guide.